Oh my god, a 2x! Sometimes I feel like I need to inject incitement into the 2x's. Where like, they're pretty boring, aren't they? But how can we make them exciting? We should do like a 2x surprise. Anyone got any 2x surprises? Every 2x is a... or something, huh? Ed Savior says, can you show your cards when you fold on Party Poker? No, I don't think you can. I don't know. If maybe it's an option. It's possibly an option. If it is, I've got it deactivated. So, as far as on what you can look at the cards, we would have made it straight. Look at that. That's poor. I don't know how to show cards, unfortunately. There might be a way. I may just be not clever enough to know how to do it. Can you please show me how to mute audio on Party Poker? Yes, that you can do, and I have done. And how do I do it? Settings, I think. Oh, I think I just did it through my own volume. So right-click on the volume bar and then open volume mixer, and then you can just go and mute it from that end. That's how I've done it. So there still is sound. Hear that? It's not noisy, isn't it? That submarine just turned up. But we decided to mute it for the benefit of the stream because this we thought would get quite annoying if we left it on max volume. Anyway, I just muted it through the volume mixer because look. Hey, little round of applause. What is Oscars doing nowadays? Not playing right. Oscars is still playing. He also does a lot of mental game coaching for 651, and I believe he's also doing some other stuff. In addition, I would encourage everybody to go give Mr. O. Grives a follow on Instagram. Latvian's finest, baby. Sveki, Kartiviet, Manit Labi, Katel, Manit Labi, Powdies. Vex me, Draugs. That's my Latvian there for you. El poco de entusiasmo. Porque if not blue, then who? You can still be a music producer. Why not? If DJ Khaled can, anyone can. DJ Khaled, Texas Tomo. That's going to be my little sound signature. Jackton suited, 13 bigs. Jackton's an interesting hand here where, like, it's actually... it doesn't matter. I was going to talk about some small blind versus button, but it's not that important, actually. We'll min raise it. Obviously calling a shove. Good luck. Solid equity, 49%. That's a very nice flop. That's or not a bad turn. That's a good river. Exactly. Thank you very much, Galactic, for sorting out the Oscs tribute. That's exactly what we wanted. Latvia's fine. It's give him a follow. Absolutely. So, in a 10-10-1 spot, I've studied a few of these. If it's 10-10-1 with the one being on the big blind, very different range to if the one big blind's in the small blind. And so it's good to study these because they play very differently than just like 10-10-10, for example. So yeah, definitely worth brushing up on your asymmetric stack depths if you're not too sure. Agrun says, "Come to Latvia, I will show you around." Agrun, it's very kind of you. Thank you very much. You don't think I could manage on my own? Did you not just hear what I said? Tveki Turkey, I've got it nailed. Surely I can show myself around. He's like, no. I think it's best if I show you around rather than you stumble around thinking you know what you're talking about. Like, let's not have you stumble around Riga just being like, Tveki. I'm going to teach you some new teach you some new words as well. That'd be nice. Thank you. Or should I say, Powdies? Because I only really know the ones I've got. I think they're pretty sufficient, aren't they? Okay, we're going to delay 2.5 here. I think our hand's just worth to jam. We don't lose to much. We lose to maybe some slow played aces or kings. Block some of the kings. We lose to aces with a heart. You might check that. At the same time, we're always going broke on that. What I don't want to happen is allow like a hand like Queen Jack suited, for example, to bet. 9-10 sucks, but what are you going to do? I think we're going broke whatever in that hand. So it's kind of like neutral EV against better hands. Because what can we do? We can call and then call the river, right? I mean, it's whatever. But I think against bluff combos we just want to shove there. It just gives away way too much equity to not shove there. And so, yeah. It's sad. Could we have jam pre? That's the other thing we could have done. Like, yeah, maybe. I think offsuit, weirdly enough, I'd prefer jamming them. But I mean, it's whatever. DJ Poker, Texas Hold'em, Tomo, catchy, I'll say. Fun fact, GPT-3, the most advanced model out there of neutral languages, can't make songs. Natural languages, I should say. Can it not? That's a... Well. Didn't know that any. Any particular reason? They just don't sound good or are just unable to? Thank you very much for following John3712. We appreciate it, John. Or Jehon. The 37th, 3,712th of their name. So we haven't had too many, like, let's say, decisions. We've had that King 10 obviously was a decision. I don't think too much we could do differently there. We will kind of think about that, obviously, after the game. Otherwise, like, flops mainly been pretty standard, I think. There's a couple of C bets we made where we got check raised, but again, it's marginal in this situation. I don't think we missed too many bluffs or anything. I don't think. Not sure. It Savior says, if you have half a big blind on the button, wouldn't you shove any two for the blinds? No, not true. I know it can seem like that way. You would if there were antes, obviously, but it's an ante-3 environment. So folding's obviously 0. So you have to do better than 0 with your expectation of playing. And I think we had like 5 for off, right, or something like that for half a big blind. And so the EV of playing with 5 high offsuit against a player is just less than 0. So folding's more proper there. You obviously go pretty wide, but for half big blinds, you definitely don't go any two cards. Where you might start going wider is if you... I mean, it depends a little bit on the stack depths that other people have. So if they both had 20 or 15 or something, or 10, you can go a little bit wider because then maybe the small blind will shove into the big blind to take the dead money, and so it's a bit more worth it. You obviously... the other thing is, like, when you have a third of big blind, you actually can't make that big a mistake because by the very nature of it, the maximum mistake you can make would be, I get it in drawing dead somehow, and I'd make a third of a big blind mistake. Realistically, I'm going to have equity, whatever, and so people don't... It's never really that big of an issue, but, yeah. Lost Paradise 2 says, hey, Tom, what's the magic stack size heads up when you shove ranges as small blind? And what is it when you call range with the big blinds? Oh, shove range, sorry. No, it's not shove range, it's sub range. So, funny enough, the stack depth is bigger when you're in the big blinds than the small blind. So if you're using Nash as a sort of guiding point, I think it's 1.4 is like 2.7 and 2.3 off. And if you're cooling, I believe it's like 2.7, 2.6 or something for the very bottom of the range, 2.3 off, 2.7 off, stuff like that. Those two are kind of similar. 29th says jam up before core 2.6, so I'm assuming he's got that correctly figured out. Thank you very much to the 29HFM for just confirming what I said, really, isn't it? So, but did it 90 seconds before me, so that's repetitive. Oh well. What's interesting as well is, like, to be honest, Lost Paradise, if you think your opponent, let's say you're playing at the lower stakes, and maybe you have an opponent that won't call as wide. So maybe at like 3 big blinds, for example, you think they might overfold slightly. If they're not going to call with, I don't know, a hand like 10-2 off, for example, you think they might fold 10-2 off at 3 big blinds. You can then probably still jam any 2 cards if they're slightly overfolding up to maybe like 4 big blinds, honestly. That's only, of course, if you know that they're not going to call correctly. If they call correctly, 1.4 is your cutoff, yeah. Okay. Oh, the losses are stacking up now, ladies and gentlemen, aren't they? I think this will be a range C-bet board. We'll go 23. We'll continue on a club, a heart, a jack, a king, an ace probably is fine. A 9's obviously value. If it's a 6, I think we'll just give up. We get raised here. Very interesting. Okay. Well, we have better hands to continue with, and won't be doing too much here. Might be like a small sliver of this coming over the top, but I think we'd rather come over the top with maybe like a king queen, something like that, where we just jam over. Certainly, I think an ace 4, ace 5, we would just jam over that spot. Likewise, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, or whatever. And we still have all the 10x, of course, and we still have jacks, queens, kings, and aces, and 3x and 2x and whatnot. So, feels a bit possible that was a bluffy spot, but I think we just have better hands to start with. It says just to not confuse, you only triple up from 0.5 BB. Correct, yeah. You don't win. You wouldn't win extra. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, if you have 0.5 in the button, the most you could take is 3x, whatever your stack is. I think we'll be calling, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, bad times. Is that bad times? Sad times. Okay.